When a legendary person's mortal remains are brought to the West Bengal Cultural Center at Rabindra Sadan, it is open to public so that the public can pay their obeisance, so the public can pay their tributes to the departed soul. However, I think due to lack of time, because the family needs to fly out to Mumbai with the mortal remains, I don't think that will happen this time. Though we know that in the distance, this area though has been cordoned off because of VIP movement. At the distance, we can see a lot of fans who have gathered here, and they would like to pay their tribute. I will once again ask my camera person to show if we can zoom in. There are fans lined up outside Rabindra Sadan, and all of them want to just catch one last glimpse of KK. As I said, it is mind-boggling indeed. They are yet to wrap their mind around the fact that KK is no more. Just 53 years old. He was here in the city for the past 72 hours. 3 concerts that were lined up for him, 2 at the same venue. However, this unfortunate incident has come in as such a shock for the cultural fraternity, for the musical and art and cinema fraternity here in Kolkata. And therefore, people are absolutely speechless given what has happened. And as people get to know that his mortal remains are being brought here at Rabindra Sadan, which is an iconic landmark in Calcutta, as it's being shown on television channels. A lot of people from far-flung areas in the city are coming to this place. Unfortunately, they are not being allowed inside given the protocol and the VVIP movement, but they're trying to catch a glimpse from outside, the boundary wall of this place is what we can see. And from here, as I said, the mortal remains will straight be taken to the airport, from where they will leave for their hometown. We can see photographs being taken, photographs being brought out, various photographs of KK. And Nabila, I can clearly hear on the loudspeaker, on the music system, his immortal numbers being played out right now. So quite a surreal atmosphere indeed in Kolkata right now. Even for us who are covering this story, we just can't wrap our mind around the fact that KK, such a popular singer, so young, has passed away like this in Kolkata. Nabila.
Well, while Mamata Banerjee is right there, do we please reiterate to us on how the final journey will be carried out at this point? Are they going to be moving KK to his hometown? Is the family, have they decided on something on how they want to go about this, the final rites?
Well, we are yet to learn about the final rites. What we are hearing, of course, is that the mortal remains will be taken to Mumbai, and that's where his residence is, and the final rites will be taking place there. 5:45 is, we are told, is when they are going to take the flight, 5:45 flight to Mumbai. And therefore, as I was saying, that, whenever there is a legendary figure whose mortal remains are brought at the Rabindra Sadan, we see that the gates are open for public to pay their homage and tribute. Not happening this time because the entire process is happening on a very, very tight schedule. Though Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and Kolkata Mayor and the Police Commissioner and other ministers and dignitaries are here. Quickly, when the family comes here along with the mortal remains of KK, there will be a small ceremony, a crisp ceremony, where, Chief Minister will be paying her floral tributes, and there will be a formal gun salute that would be carried out by the Kolkata police, following which the body will straight be taken to the airport.
All right. What do you see the environment is like right now in the Jeet? We saw Babul Supriyo extensively, running about to try and arrange for this entire government tribute, this gun salute that they're going to be carrying out. And how many minutes from now will that process begin? And will you be able to speak to any one of them? Maybe Babul Supriyo again?
Well, what we are seeing right now is Mamata Banerjee literally lending her hand at the last-minute preparations. There is a big photograph of KK that has been put up here, and n number of media presence right now. Any time from now, any moment from now, Nabila, the mortal remains would be brought here. and then the entire gun salute ceremony will take place. As I said, 5:45 is the time when they're supposed to take a flight back to Mumbai. So they need to reach Kolkata airport. I'm sure there will be a green corridor that would be initiated by the Kolkata police to allow fast movement of the family along with the mortal remains to the Kolkata airport. In fact, Mamata Banerjee was there this morning at Bakura. She was there for an administrative meeting, and it was there when she spoke out about this tragic demise of the singer. And then she said that she has already spoken to the family. She's spoken to the wife of the singer, and she would try and attend them before they leave the city. So she's managed that. She's flown out from Bakura. She landed at the airport about 1.5 hours back. But she has come here to the West Bengal Cultural Center, that is Rabindra Sadan, to oversee this entire preparation. And as I said, any moment from now, the mortal remains will be brought here. Even as I speak, again and again, the iconic number, Pal, that is being played by on the loudspeaker by the West Bengal government right now. And the mood, of course, is very, very somber. It's very somber. It's sad. It's tragic, and a lot of fans lining up from outside just to get a last glimpse. They want to catch a last glimpse of the departed soul. We can see the Kolkata Police Commissioner Vineet Goyal having a word with the Chief Minister about the preparation. I think the preparations are almost over, and the Chief Minister herself is waiting for the mortal remains to be brought here at Rabindra Sadan. Nabila?
Right. But, you know, as much as Mamata Banerjee at this point is mourning the death of KK, and the state is now going to be carrying out a gun salute in tribute to the legendary singer. Can't really call him, you know, for such a young age of 53, to even call him a legend, you know, just the fact that his work, he has such an extensive body of work, that itself is enough for us to call him a legend. But otherwise, usually you call a legend of those who are well past their 70s. But here is a man, KK, who in his 50s itself had accomplished so much, had such a long list of hits that he had delivered, that we can't call him anything short of a legend at this point. KK has gone too soon. These are images coming in of his marriage, his very lovely wife, who we know, as per what Indrajit has said, is really struggling to receive this piece of news. Unfortunately, KK has left too soon, but what we know is that he was a thorough, all-out family man who loved his wife and children, and one can only imagine what they're currently going through. KK's demise has certainly raised several questions on the Kolkata organizers of that event. Certainly, India Today has now accessed some exclusive visuals of last night's concert. You can see how chaos had gripped all around that concert, and in fact a lot of fingers pointed at poor management of that event altogether. At that auditorium, over 3,000 people attended the show. The situation was so bad that organizers finally had to resort to firing fire extinguishers at the crowds, only to disperse some of those fans who were going berserk. So, and that's what raises a lot of concerns on how they were manning the crowd at that point. But again, speculation is endless. It's very hard to fix a blame or to point out someone to be solely responsible for what has happened. But what does certainly raise questions is that, was there adequate ventilation? Were there just enough crowds allowed inside, or were people allowed in without actually filtering on the numbers? A certain auditorium can hold possibly just a few or a certain set of people only. When I say certain set, I mean a certain number. When it comes to an auditorium, it has a certain set capacity. Was this stadium or auditorium housing people more than what their capacity could hold? That's the question, of course, organizers need to answer. But 3,000 people were there as part of that concert is what we hear. Here we're also looking at fire extinguishers being fired. It was sprayed at many of those fans who were possibly trying to get closer to the artist's stage. So just to chase them away, fire extinguishers were sprayed on them. So, you know, in every way, this looks like there was a lot of pressure on KK, possibly 4 concerts that he did back to back. That's another information that we hear, that he was on a roll. He did 4 concerts back to back, and this was his last, and unfortunately his last. We cut across to Palak Ushal, who's a singer, joining us for more on that. Palak, very, very tragic news. We still can't digest the fact that such a stellar artist, a great human being, from what we hear from many of them who've been giving out the condolences, has gone too soon. He gave such a stellar performance on stage, and post his final song, he was rushed to his hotel after complaining of uneasiness, and then when he was moved to hospital, they declared him brought dead. So that piece of news doesn't seem to have gone down well among any of us. It seems like a personal loss for me, for all of us in our news office. How are you receiving this?
Like you said, it actually feels like a personal loss, because I don't think we all are able to come to terms with the fact that he's no more. I'm still feeling that, please tell me that it's a lie and it's all a rumor, a joke. Because KK sir, he is an inspiration to all the singers like me, all the musicians. We all have, grown up listening to his songs. He's inspired us in so many ways. My first ever song, a debut song, was with him. He was my first co-singer. Whenever I met him, he just blessed me immensely. And he was a kind of person, whenever he would enter a studio, he would just spread so much of positivity. His interactions with music composers, singers, even sound engineers were so encouraging, so motivating. I remember speaking to him a couple of months back on my birthday. He would make sure to wish me on every birthday. It's just unbelievable that, even now when I was hearing the information that you were giving, it was just unbelievable to digest. It was just impossible to digest.
Palak, have you worked with KK for that matter? If I can ask you, have you known him closely? Have you known him personally? From whatever we hear of musicians who worked with him, they say that he was such a great human being, pure at heart, inside out.
Yes.
His whole focus was only his music, never had
Yes.
a flamboyant life. And for the success that he tasted, it really never hit his head. Because he often has presented himself to be the most grounded human being, and that's why it was all the more endearing for film industry insiders to be wanting to work with KK because of his work ethic.
Like
Palak, if you can hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, go on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was such a simple person. Like you said, success never hit his head. And whenever I would meet him, I would not, he was so much senior to me, but he would never make me feel like that. And the small tips that he would give, the motivation that he would provide me. And he was a person who would not seek media attention or limelight. He would not see him at parties or even public events. He had his own world, and he had all the qualities of a true artist. And he was such a giving person that whenever he would meet somebody, he had so much to tell them, so much to there was so much to learn from him. And I'm right. I'm feeling that life is too unfair to take away such a gem too early.
All good people go too soon. That's something that has stayed true for so long, with so many of such great personalities going away a lot too soon. And now to add to that long list is KK. But with KK, it really feels like a personal loss, because I was saying to the other artists as well as we spoke here on India Today about how many of his songs have become anthems among the college-going crowd, among adults. Just about any generation managed to find their hook with KK. There's plenty of songs that one can remember of KK that have resonated among different age groups, like your Pal, Yaro, Dosti. It's now become college anthems from the 90s all the way to now.
Yes.
So how many artists and musicians can boast of that kind of trajectory? Palak, today I know it's a day of mourning, but we still like to hear a song from you on how you would want to remember KK as a final tribute today?
I was just speaking to Jeet Ganguly sir, and he was present there at the hospital last night, and he told me that, and with whatever information he got, he told me that Pal was the last song that he performed on the stage at the concert last night. And it's a song that I have grown up listening to. Like you mentioned, it's a college anthem, and I don't think I'll be able to sing well, but I'll just try to give a tribute to him with the song of his. हम रहे ना रहे कल याद आएंगे वो पल ये है प्यार के पल चल आ मेरे संग चल चल सोचे क्या छोटी सी है जिंदगी कल मैं जानूं तो होंगी खुश नसीबी चल रहे याद आएंगे ये पल.
Or, it really is welling me up. I know for a fact that every single college during their farewell, has this song in the background going, because emotions are running high often, and this song really strikes every chord of friendship, of love, of togetherness, of just every layer of emotion that this song touches upon, and that's why maybe it will remain as an anthem forever long. I don't think any other song can really come as close to tapping just the right sentiments and emotions of any generation. Like I said, every single generation has managed to strike a chord with KK's music.